Jeff here with 1023 XLC. I'm out at Tony Cannoli in Mundelein, and I'm hanging out with Tony, the man himself. So you're going to show us how to make cannoli today.
Yeah, so our big thing that separates us from our competition, we believe, are our shells. So I'm going to show you how we make our shells. We make all of our shells here in-house from our secret recipe dough, if you will. But our big thing is bubble-free shell. So a lot of cannoli you'll see have a lot of bubbles in the shell. Nothing wrong with that. But our signature shell has no bubbles in it. My Italian grandmother's shell, who I learned from, hers had bubbles in it. I worked it for about 9 months to get the bubbles out. I feel like the nice, solid, smooth shell gives a good texture and a good substance to the overall flavor of the cannoli. So that's what I'll show you here today. 3 kind of things that keep the bubbles out. 1, the dry ingredient recipe, which what I said, the secret recipe. That's already taken care of. I'm not going to share that with you today, unfortunately, but you'll have to work it out yourself. But then the other thing that keeps the bubbles out is the amount of time that we let the dough sit. Basically none. I just made this dough before you guys got here.
Okay.
If we let the dough sit, air gets into it, creating the bubbles. So we can't make the dough in advance. So once we roll the dough out, we roll it immediately and then fry it. And then the third thing is the rolling technique, which I'll show you right here. We don't want to do your traditional back and forth technique because that'll overlap the dough. Air will get into it, creating the bubbles. So what we do is, I put the pin in the middle of the dough. I'm going to roll the bottom half towards me and the top half away. Always rolling in the same direction as to not overlap it and not get air into the dough. Bottom towards me, just like so. Right? Just keep putting my pin back in the middle, put it back in, and then roll the top half away. And that'll prevent the dough from overlapping itself, and that's where the bubbles get in because the air gets into it. And if you want to roll it thinner, you can do that. Just make sure you continue rolling in that same direction as to not overlap the dough. So with a nice small piece of dough, it's pretty simple, you know, nice and easy.
Yes.
But as you see, we have some of the bigger pieces. Those take a little bit of working out because you do have to kind of work your way through the dough without overlapping it.
Okay.
So then it's very simple. We just use a 3-inch cookie cutter. That's what we do, the 3-inch cannoli shell. We don't do any of the large ones. Just because the fillings I make complement the size of these shells really well.
Okay.
And we just cut them out. You know, very simple. Just push down and press to make your shape. And so typically, this is what we call excess dough. We save this and reuse this to make another product, which are our little cannoli bites. They're little cup-shaped cannoli, if you will, open cups. We take the same dough, we'll roll it out again, but we'll bake that dough instead of frying it.
Oh, wow.
So that's our healthier version of the product, if you will, you know? So we don't waste the excess dough. But for demonstration purposes today, I am just gonna peel off this little piece right here and show you how we roll the dough. The big thing, if you do want to make cannoli at home, this is your big utensil. You need to have one of these.
Okay.
This is our cannoli form, and this is what keeps the shape of the shell. And this whole thing with the dough is going to go into the fryer.
Okay.
So I just put the form on, peel up from the back, roll forward, and as you see here, you create this little flap. Let me grab our water. We just take a little dab of water, put it right under the flap, and seal it off. And now it's ready for the fryer. I'll roll a couple up, and we'll fry them real quick, and we'll have our little cannoli.
Very cool.
So yeah, like I said, today we're doing this little small batch, but typically we make one batch is about 50 to 60 shells.
Oh wow.
Depending on how we roll it. You know, we make anywhere from 200 to 400 shells a day.
Wow.
So we're really cranking them out. So I'll throw these in the fryer here. And so we use canola oil. And Jeff, can you guess why we use canola oil?
I'm not sure why we use canola oil.
So the reason we use canola oil, it's very, very simple. Canola sounds like cannoli.
Oh,
so when I was walking, when I was walking through the store, it said canola oil, and I thought, hey, that looks like the word cannoli. Might as well use that for the frying. And it worked out great because it is nut free. So if we do need to accommodate for any allergies, there is no nuts in the oil, so the shell is nut free.
Perfect.
So we do canola oil, 375 for about 50 seconds to a minute.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna fry it for. And then when we pull it out, we'll pull it off the forms immediately to ensure that they don't stick. Otherwise, we gotta break them off. And then we got cannoli chips, which are equally as good, but today we're trying to do the shells.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's no waste. Everything kind of gets recycled.
Absolutely. Exactly. So yeah, if it does break, or if it is misshaping coming out of the fryer, yeah, we can use it as chips, or we can use it as we do cannoli cakes.
Okay.
And we, on the top of the cakes, we'd offer cannoli crumble, which is kind of the broken shells crumbled on top of the cake.
Wow.
Going back to the incorporating, all three of the ingredients in all of our products, All right. So there we go. There you have it. A few cannoli shells. Hopefully no bubbles. Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it looks great.
So that's a little bit of how we make our shells here at Tony Cannoli. We fresh fill everything. So once the shell's made, we don't fill it until you come in and order it. Something else I'll show you today is, like I said, everything here is fresh filled.
Mm-hmm.
So once the cannoli are made, we don't fill them until they're ordered. And like we talked about with the shipping kits, you get the shells and the filling bag and the dip, so you can kind of do it all yourself, which is fun. Fun for everyone. So I'll just show you real quick on how we do fill the cannoli. We take our filling bag. We got all kinds of different flavors here at the shop, but today I'm going to show you the chocolate chip one, which is the most popular.
Okay.
We just take one of the shells. I like to put my finger right at the top, and so that when the filling hits, I know when it hits. But just stick the bag into the shell, and we're going to squeeze right above this crease here. As you can see, it kind of hit my finger. I keep squeezing and pull the bag towards me. Flip it around, and finish it off. And then the beauty of it is, since we fill everything to order, technically it's customizable, but we have nice set flavors that we offer here at the shop. This is our pistachio one, which is one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, the pistachio one is delicious.
Thank you.
Pistachio
Yeah,
is so good.
Yeah, so we really like that one, and so do a lot of our customers. So we have pistachios, chocolate chips, pecans, candied fruit, as you see on some of the ends of these ones that we can dip our cannoli in. And that allows us to offer all kinds of different flavors and profiles. So yeah, very simple. And if you did do the classes as well, we fill your cannoli, or you fill your cannoli, not we. You fill it when you're done making it. So it's an all hands-on kind of class. So very, very fun and cool experience.